There is one particular item. Just place it in the right spot in your living room, and money will seem to be drawn in like it's being pulled by an invisible magnet. The more you spend, the more you will have. The more time you spend at home, the more prosperous you become. Sounds unbelievable, but this is a secret that many East Asian business people have been quietly practicing for centuries. Hello there. I am Master Elliot, a feng shui expert with over 30 years of experience in researching and applying traditional feng shui to modern life. In classical feng shui, there is a principle that has been discreetly passed down for hundreds of years. Wealth does not arrive by chance. It flows toward places that know how to open the door to energy and know how to preserve and attract abundance. The very first place that needs to be arranged correctly is the living room. Today, I am going to reveal to you a simple item that carries incredibly strong accumulating energy. When placed in the right spot in your living room, it becomes an invisible pre-vault that not only helps the homeowner preserve wealth, but also activates the flow of prosperity for every member of the household. But that is not all. I will also guide you through how to arrange your living room to enhance financial energy, from using plants, lighting, and artwork to small taboos that may seem harmless, but can quietly drive money away without you even realizing it. And at the end of this video, I will share a little-known feng shui luck tip that has helped many people transform their luck, all starting from just a small corner of their home. Can you guess what that item is? Leave a comment below with a positive affirmation such as, "I am ready to welcome wealth into my home every day." Because once you begin to think the right thoughts and align with the right energy, prosperity will naturally find its way to the right person. And do not forget to hit subscribe on the Master Elliot Feng Shui channel so you never miss out on the videos that help you balance your energy, protect your wealth, and live a more harmonious life every single day. But before we dive into the details of the feng shui item that helps attract wealth, we need to take care of something even more important: removing harmful elements from the living room. Because if we do not first clear out the blockages, then no matter how powerful the item is, it will be difficult for wealth to stay. Number 1. Sofa with its back facing the door in feng shui. The living room is considered the first space where the home communicates with the outside world. All energy, simply put, the life force enters through the main door, flows through the living room, and then spreads into other areas of the home. The sofa, according to core principles, should be the first thing to receive this energy, symbolizing that the homeowner is ready to welcome the positive forces of life. However, many families, out of convenience or by following interior design plans, end up placing the sofa with its back facing the door. Sitting in that position often makes you feel uneasy, though you may not know why. There is always a sense of being startled when someone walks in, a lack of safety, a loss of control. That is a clear sign of turning your back on incoming energy. From a feng shui perspective, this placement makes it harder for the homeowner to receive opportunities, more likely to miss out on unexpected luck, and easier to fall into a state of defensiveness and anxiety, both in career and emotions. Well, think of it like going into a job interview and turning your chair away from the interviewer. No matter how good your resume is, you are still turning your back on the opportunity. Number 2, clocks that do not work. At some point, clocks became an almost essential item in the living room, not just to tell time, but also as a decorative highlight that reflects the homeowner's taste. But because they are so common, many people forget about their symbolic value. In feng shui, a clock is not only a tool for keeping time, it also represents the smooth flow of life, of work, and of destiny. A running clock symbolizes continuous movement, while a stopped clock symbolizes everything coming to a halt. Some homes display a beautiful wall clock, but it has not moved since last year, and no one bothers to fix it. Every time they look up, the hands are stuck at 11:17, as if they are living in a strange dimension, frozen between two moments. At best, this creates stagnation, At worst, it keeps people stuck in the past, making it hard to move into a new chapter. There are even clocks designed to look eerie with distorted shapes, haunting colors, or made from rusted metal in the name of abstract art that might suit a post-apocalyptic themed coffee shop. But in the living room, where life energy needs to be clear, it only disrupts the flow and weakens the energy field. It is like walking into a room and seeing a tilted, stopped clock that looks like it belongs in a horror movie. Suddenly, your whole mindset loses that sense of flow. Here is a simple piece of advice. If you hang a clock, make sure it works properly. If you no longer use it, take it down. And if you choose a clock, pick a clear, harmonious design with colors that suit the space. Ideally, hang it on the side wall, not directly facing the main door or directly above where people sit. Number 3. Damaged walls, cracks, and unpatched nail holes. In feng shui, cracks and damaged sections of walls are seen as leaks of energy. Positive energy may enter the home, but leak out again like a dam with a small hole. It might start as a slow drip, but if left unattended, it will gradually carry away your wealth and stability. Even from a psychological perspective, you will feel it immediately. Being in a room with large cracks or peeling paint brings a sense of heaviness and discomfort. Subconsciously, people feel less protected, like something is incomplete, and that affects the spirit, even if you are not consciously aware of it. Many people try to cover cracks with paintings. That is just a temporary fix. Feng Shui does not encourage putting makeup on a wound. It values solving problems at the root. Even a small hole left by a removed nail should be patched and painted as soon as possible. That simple act shows respect for your living space and the energy within your home. I once consulted for a family who felt like money came in and went out just as fast, even though their income was stable. When I visited, I discovered that one corner of their living room had slight water damage with peeling paint that had been left untouched for almost 3 years. They never thought it was a big deal, but just a few weeks after repairing the wall, repainting, and changing the lighting in that area, they reported feeling a noticeable sense of relief, and their spending patterns started falling back into order. Number 4. Mirrors in the living room. In feng shui, mirrors are considered yin objects. They absorb, reflect, and redirect energy. And while that may sound interesting, it is exactly what makes mirrors a double-edged sword. Especially in the living room. Some people use large mirrors as decorative pieces to make the room look bigger or add elegance. But feng shui does not evaluate an object based solely on function. It also considers the energy it brings. And mirrors, no matter how beautiful, are inherently unstable in terms of energy. Mirrors have the power to absorb both light and energy flowing into a space. In the living room, where positive yang energy needs to be gathered to nourish the entire home, a poorly placed mirror acts like a reverse vacuum. Energy enters and is immediately reflected or pulled back out. Even wealth, if it arrives, can just come through the front door and leave through the mirror. This is especially true for large mirrors placed directly opposite the main entrance, the balcony door, or the main seating area. They often create a sense of instability and disorientation. People in the home may find it difficult to concentrate, struggle to make firm decisions, and feel unusually fatigued without any clear reason. I have seen families install mirrors based on an architect's advice to expand the space without considering what the mirror reflects. If the mirror reflects a bathroom, a staircase, or the kitchen area, it does not boost energy, but instead magnifies sources of negative energy. The solution is simple: limit the use of mirrors in the living room. If you must use one, go for a small decorative mirror that does not reflect the main door or the central activity area. Place it in a supporting role, not the center of attention, and ideally, let it reflect natural light. Greenery, or a beautiful painting as a way to reflect positive energy. Mirrors are not bad, but when used in the wrong place, they can backfire. Just like fire, it cooks food when placed in the kitchen. but in the wrong spot, it burns down the house. Number 5. Photos of deceased loved ones. In every family, there are loved ones who have passed away, people we deeply care about and respect. Keeping their photos is a natural thing to do. And in fact, it is a beautiful cultural tradition. But where you keep those photos, that is another matter. When you hang or display photos of deceased family members in the living room, especially in central or highly visible spots, you unintentionally mix yin and yang energy in your main living space. This does not mean you are inviting spirits or being superstitious. It simply reduces the lightness, vitality, and dynamic energy that a living room should have. I once visited a home where the family had hung a photo of their great-grandparents right next to the television cabinet, where everyone gathered each night. No one felt anything strange, but no one felt completely relaxed either. There was always a subtle heaviness in the atmosphere. Only after the photo was respectfully moved to the family altar room did the entire space feel noticeably lighter and freer without changing anything else. So what is the advice here? If you wish to keep photos of deceased loved ones, place them in a quiet, solemn space, somewhere meant for remembrance and spiritual connection. This could be a home altar, a small area toward the back of the house, or a low-traffic corner. That way, you show proper respect and preserve the clean, uplifting energy of your current living space. Number 6. Arguments in the living room. There is something most people do not notice. Every time we argue, get angry, or hurt each other in the living room, that energy does not simply disappear. It lingers in the space as a kind of vibrational residue. And over time, it begins to contaminate the overall energy field of your home. It is just like when you walk into a room where people have recently argued. You may not know what happened, but you still feel a certain tension in the air. That is leftover negative energy that has not been released. And if this happens repeatedly, the living room turns from a space meant for positive connection into a place that stores emotional toxicity. Some families have the habit of putting everything on the table in the living room to talk things out. On the surface, that may seem like an open and honest way to communicate, but if emotions are not well managed, then what should be a source of life and energy becomes a battlefield, where every time you sit down, you feel tired, heavy, and just want to get up and leave. Instead, let the living room be a space reserved for lightness, joy, and positivity. If you need to have a serious conversation, choose a private, quiet corner. That way, when you return to the living room, the space still holds a clean and uplifting energy. Once you have cleared out the invisible blockages in your living room, now you are ready to welcome wealth into your home. And the secret lies in one small feng shui item that, if placed correctly, can become the guardian key of your fortune. Something luck simply cannot ignore. The item I want to share with you today is the wealth jar. It may sound simple, but do not underestimate the symbolic power of a wealth jar. Among hundreds of feng shui items, from money frogs and sailboats to crystals and paintings, the wealth jar is seen as a symbol of passive accumulation, a very unique and refined concept in classical feng shui. So what makes it so highly regarded? First, the wealth jar is powerful because of its unique symbolic purpose. Unlike decorative items such as frogs, dragons, or toads that attract wealth through display, the jar quietly preserves and protects it, gathering positive energy without letting it scatter. This reflects the principle: where energy gathers, wealth is born. A sealed jar represents money kept safe, discreet, and stable, just as people in ancient times stored their riches in hidden, secure places. Second, it connects deeply with the modern subconscious. When placed in your home, it does not look like a feng shui item. It is subtle, compact, and unassuming, yet it powerfully reminds you of having something saved. It speaks to your mind more than your eyes. Every time you see it, your subconscious registers, I am building, I am abundant. Third, it supports the idea of yin energy, which refers to inner peace, stillness, and long-term stability. Other symbols like gold coins or money frogs carry yang energy bold, fast, and outward. The wealth jar, however, nurtures the calm, steady growth we need in a restful home environment. And finally, the jar is personalizable. You decide what goes inside. Unlike fixed feng shui pieces, this becomes your own spiritual vault. It is not just a tool, it becomes a part of your home's living energy. So how do you choose the right jar? While it may sound simple, it requires thoughtfulness. In feng shui, an object only works best when shape, material, and intention align. Shape comes first. An ideal wealth jar should be round with a small opening and a wide belly. The round shape symbolizes abundance and flow. A narrow opening keeps wealth secure and hidden. A wide belly represents the ability to contain, signifying ongoing accumulation. If the jar is oddly shaped, sharp-edged, or dented, it may unintentionally symbolize instability or leaking wealth. For material, ceramic or clear glass is ideal. Ceramic is tied to the earth element, supporting grounding and wealth stability. Glass represents clarity and purity, like transparent financial flow. Avoid plastic or cheap metal. They give off artificial energy and disconnect from the space. Color matters too. Soft gold, ivory, pale green, and earthy browns are best. They create warmth and blend well with most interiors. Avoid dark black, bright red, or busy patterns that may cause energetic tension or disruption. What about size? Bigger is not better. No one builds a giant vault for just a few coins. A hand-sized jar, around 10 to 15 centimeters tall and 8 to 10 centimeters wide, is more than enough. What truly matters is the energy and intention behind it. Finally, do not forget the lid. This is more important than it seems. A tight-fitting lid symbolizes the act of protecting and securing wealth. An open jar, while visually lighter, can imply money flowing out or being unprotected. If your jar is glass, covering it with a velvet cloth adds elegance and softens the energy flow. Once your jar is chosen, the next question is, what do you place inside it? Start with real metal coins. Metal represents the metal element in feng shui, strongly tied to money and resources. Even just a few small coins can carry powerful energy as long as they are real. Choose clean, shiny, round coins. They do not have to be rare, just well-kept and rust-free. These are not for spending. They symbolize stored value that quietly multiplies. Next, add a few dried cinnamon sticks or nutmeg seeds. These herbs are considered lucky charms, not just in Eastern traditions, but also in many Western spiritual rituals. Their warm, soothing aroma can calm down chaotic energy, clear out stagnant vibes, and help activate prosperity from within. Cinnamon in particular is known to stimulate clarity and decisiveness, two qualities absolutely essential for effective financial management. You should also include a few small crystals or gemstones, especially citrine, often called the merchant stone. Citrine carries a high frequency associated with mental clarity, wise decision-making, and financial luck. Besides citrine, you can also use clear quartz, amber, or tiger's eye, as long as they are genuine, small enough to fit, and visually soothing. Each stone placed in the jar acts like a seed of abundance, silently growing beneath layers of accumulated energy. Here is a simple but highly effective tip. Write a positive financial affirmation by hand, fold it neatly, and place it at the bottom of the jar. Something like, "I always have enough to live comfortably and to give generously," or "Wealth flows to me in healthy and sustainable ways." These statements should always be in the present tense, because in subconscious feng shui, what you say, as if it is already happening, will gradually become true. Avoid phrasing like "I wish" or "I hope," as they carry the energy of lack, which does not align with the spirit of accumulation. To personalize the jar even further, you can add a small object that symbolizes your personal luck. A pebble you picked up during a lucky trip, a coin from a New Year's gift, or a piece of jewelry you wore when you achieved a financial milestone. As long as the object makes you smile when you see it, it will add to the energetic strength of the wealth jar. Important note, do not overcrowd. A powerful wealth jar is one that has room to breathe. Because wealth is not about being overstuffed, it is about being intentional and refined. Make sure that every item you place inside has a reason to be there, and each time you look at the jar, it should bring you a sense of calm, fullness, and peace. That is when the energy of prosperity is truly working with you. Once your wealth jar is complete, the most important step is choosing where to place it. If placed incorrectly, it is no different from a decorative vase, but if placed in the right location and in the right direction, it becomes a center of energy accumulation, quietly helping you stabilize your finances and grow your wealth over time. According to classical feng shui systems like Bazai and flying stars, the southeast area of the home or living room is the wealth sector, a space that governs abundant accumulation and material growth. That is why the ideal location for your wealth jar is in the southeast corner of your living room, somewhere with soft lighting, low activity visible but not overly exposed. If you are unsure how to determine direction, you can simply use a compass app on your phone. Stand in the middle of your living room and turn slowly until you find the southeast zone. That is where your wealth jar should go. If for some reason that area is not suitable, choose a quiet, well-lit spot that is not near the main door, windows, or walkways, because strong airflow in those areas can cause wealth energy to leak out. Absolutely avoid placing your wealth jar near the kitchen, bathroom, or under a staircase. These areas are considered chaotic zones, and they tend to disturb energy flow, disrupting the stable foundation the jar is meant to create. Also, avoid noisy or high traffic areas, because wealth energy, once gathered, needs stillness in order to be nurtured long term. Here are a few easy placement ideas: a low bookshelf, a side cabinet near the sofa, an end table against the wall, or a quiet corner behind a decorative screen. As long as the space feels clean, grounded, and not overly exposed, your wealth jar will begin to do its work. And one small secret, do not place the jar too high. In feng shui, wealth should accumulate from the ground up. So placing it around waist level or slightly lower is most effective. Putting it too high is like suspending your treasure vault in midair. It may look impressive, but it is hard to keep. Finally, your wealth jar does not need to be blessed or activated through rituals. But you can take 1 minute each week to gently wipe the outside as a way of showing respect. When you care for the jar with gratitude, the energy within grows stronger, not through magic, but because you are becoming more mindful of your financial flow. Many people ask, do I need to perform a ceremony or choose a special date? The answer is no, you do not. The wealth jar is not a sacred relic, nor is it a magical charm. It is a symbol, a subtle reminder to yourself that wealth can come if you know how to protect it. Value it and live with a mindset of abundance. Just seeing the jar every day is enough to plant a positive financial seed in your consciousness. And from that seed, feng shui will begin to bloom. Not from the outside in, but from the inside out. We have just explored a secret that may seem small, but has the power to shift the entire flow of wealth in your home, with nothing more than a simple wealth jar placed in the right spot, in the right way, with the right intention. But please remember this, feng shui is not a superstition, and it is not a magic trick. Any feng shui item, if you simply place it and forget about it, is just decoration. But if you choose it with understanding, treat it with gratitude, and align it with a mindset of abundance, the energy that accumulates from it can ripple through your living space and into your daily decisions and actions. Your home does not need to be luxurious. As long as it has the right energy, enough love, and a sense of harmony, then wealth, health, and happiness will come to you without needing to be called. Feel free to leave a comment below. I choose abundance. I welcome wealth into my home, because even one small affirmation can open the door to a more positive and abundant life journey. And if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Master Elliot Feng Shui channel so you never miss out on practical feng shui insights that help you live more harmoniously, more confidently, and more prosperously every day.